The Kosci 100 is one of my favorite races that I've ever done. And last year at Kosciuszko, I pushed myself to the absolute limit. I virtually crawled across the finish line an hour before the cutoff and pushed myself so hard I had to be wheelchaired to the medical tent afterwards. And I'm incredibly proud of myself for what I achieved that weekend. But I feel like I've got some unfinished business there. The first half of the race was excellent, and I felt like I was going to finish really strong in a really good time. But with the weather and a bunch of other factors, I ended up doing the final 50Ks in about 14 hours. Or in other words, a very slow walking pace. I've learned so much both from that race and since that race. And so this year, I'm going to shave off 8 hours from my previous time. And this is how I'm going to do it.
If I want to break my previous time at the Kosci 100 by 8 hours, it's got to start here. Early mornings, cold legs, and I've got to be consistent and deliberate with my training. I can't just try to pile on more mileage and hope for the best. I've got to be doing things different to what I did this time last year. So today is a long run, but I'm focusing on more than just endurance. One problem I think I had last year was my fueling. I don't know for sure because I didn't really keep track, but I think I'd estimate I was taking in somewhere between 30 and 40 grams of carbs per hour. So today I'm aiming for something like 80 grams of carbs per hour. So like double what I did before. And I'm going pretty well. I've got almost 60 grams of carbs in each of my bottles, and then I've got some 30-gram gels as well. So if I can go through one of each of those per hour, then that'll be sweet. The other thing that I want to focus on today is doing some hill strides at the end of my run. At the end of Kosciuszko, I was going like snail's pace, and so I want to work on being able to move quickly even with tired legs. That's about 1 hour, and I've done about 8.5 Ks with over 200 meters of vertical, and I've drunk pretty much an entire bottle. So now it's time for a gel. I've only got a couple of Ks to go now, so I'm gonna hopefully in a minute start doing some strides. Haven't really used strides too much in my training before, so I don't know exactly how I'll go, but I think I'll try 30 seconds going pretty hard and then a minute taking it real easy. See how we go. Alright, GoPro's probably going to run out of battery any second now, but there's a nice road here with a not too steep incline. Gonna leave the GoPro here and hope no one steals it. finished up the strides, so now just a short run back to the finish. So I did my long run focusing on fueling, endurance, and doing a little bit of strides towards the end there, trying to work a little bit on speed. And I know that in my last video I mentioned that I'd be doing a speed workout once a week, but I think that actually what I'm going to be doing is doing my speed work with strides throughout multiple workouts throughout the week. I've felt a couple of niggles recently, and I think that part of that is from upping the intensity quite a bit. So I think that doing some strides, which hopefully shouldn't put too much stress on the body, but will help my aerobic system a little bit to get up into those higher zones, I think that that'll be the way to go forward. I've built myself a 16-week training plan for Kosciuszko, and I'm doing things a little bit differently this time round. Like I mentioned in the last video, doing my long runs on Fridays and then planning to do a hike on Saturdays as kind of like a back-to-back long run sort of thing. My plan is to fuel much more than I used to on my long runs, and hopefully as I get closer to the race, I'll be fueling a lot more during just my easy workouts as well. I'm going to be doing more strides, hopefully 2 to 3 times per week. And I'm going to be aiming for more time of training rather than looking specifically at how many Ks I'm doing. But in saying that, it would be good to try and get about 100 Ks with about 3,000 meters of vertical done all in 1 week, which is more than I've ever done before. So it's a little bit daunting. Anyway, big goals leading up to Kosciuszko, and this is where it starts to get interesting. Over the next couple of weeks, I'll take you inside my training, the long runs, the setbacks, and everything that I'm doing to try and prepare myself for this biggest challenge that I've set myself yet. In the next video, I'll probably look at how I plan to avoid injury with ramping up my training so much. So if you're training for something big too, like Kosciuszko, then that'll definitely be something to look out for. Let me know if you are training for something big in the comments, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.